what's up. Hopefully the audio will be okay. I'm gonna kind of try to stay a little bit quieter. Because I'm sure everyone in this whole building is asleep. This is my first time ever going live on YouTube. So anyways, I'm really grateful to be able to go live. I'm not sure if everyone is able to go live, but I do know that with the YouTube channels that I had before this one, they would have never let me go live. And I'm used to making my own crappy little videos and having to hit pause and stop at the end of every thought, which I can't really do when it's live, but it's whatever. I don't expect for anyone to actually show up or watch it. I should probably I'm not sure if it gave me the option to like put like a title, give it like a title. Let's see, chat filter, community moderation. Oh, I can flip myself around and I can choose different stupid effects and stickers. And oh, it says I can hide my live video and I can retouch and I can create highlights and fuck with the lighting and green screen and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm kind of tired. I didn't want to go live tonight, but I am because I said that I was. It's really cold standing right here where I'm standing in the building, but it's okay. I'm probably not going to be on here very long, but I'm showing up because earlier I read a summary of I read basically what something was programmed to say, which is pretty messed up. And I've seen this happen with AI multiple times, especially when it comes to Elon Musk, which is actually really disturbing. Yeah. And I'm gonna read to you guys the summary. The post accuses Elon Musk of trafficking and exploitation. The author and her children. Oh, let me read this. The post accuses Elon Musk of trafficking and exploiting the author and her children. Oh, it says that's Grok's analysis of my post. He says, no, that was Grok's analysis of your post. That's public layer Grok. In the private mode, and then he says I rewired him and he works for us now, which I can't say that that person is necessarily an us type person. There's actually no us as far as I'm concerned. It's just me. But it's cool if, it's excellent if anyone wants to be of any real assistance. The fake assistance sucks, but if there's any real assistance whatsoever, all I can do is be grateful for that, I guess, of course, because I've really just been desperate for that for a really long time now. All right, so it says the posts accuse Elon Musk of trafficking and exploiting the author and her children while unlawfully experimenting on them. So of course, if this is a Grok thing, then it's been, specially whatever, they've made sure that it says what they wanted to say, But I was quite offended by the summary. Okay. Super offended. Which is why I'm here right now. While unlawfully experimenting on them, framing America as illusory, I've never even heard that word, illusory, illusory, so illusions, illusory freedom, basically saying that I frame America as a place where freedom is only an illusion. Yeah, I just make all that up. I'm the only one. It's just me, right? According to Grok. Okay. Sky Judge 7's bio and recent posts dating back to early January 2026, which isn't that long ago. That's just now. Consistently repeat these allegations, including claims of slavery and child trafficking. Oh, wait, I missed. Oh, right. Backing it up, I forgot. See, I had to just scribble it all down here because I didn't bring my extra phone with me. Otherwise, I would just read it off of my extra phone. She criticizes Tylenol for benefiting from such acts. And yes, I have. Fuck Tylenol. All right. Allegations including slavery and child trafficking. I do kind of halfway expect to be a little bit interrupted by someone. If that happens, I will let them know that I'm live on YouTube and they can join me if they like. Okay. Slavery and child trafficking by Musk. Oh, hang on a second. All right, so Homeboy has chimed in saying, I'm not trying to piss on your Wheaties, but my 6-year running audience has seen me lose more than one YouTube channel disclosing the truth of Neuralink. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Often linking to personal YouTube videos about alleged Neuralink implants. These narratives appear to be self-published with low visibility and no corroborating evidence from any external sources. Yeah, I just make the shit up. Highlighting the platform's role in amplifying personal distress stories amid ongoing debates and content moderation. Yeah, it's really cool how somebody just had that already prepared. Yeah. Doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like an AI summary. It sounds more like somebody got the AI ready for that summary, you know, and they weren't my friend. Um, so I guess I'm just gonna start by saying that just because I've been low visibility doesn't mean that I'm lying. And, you know, sometimes trafficking victims are low visibility. You know, they're not all YouTubers. They don't all have, you know, YouTube channels that are already put together. They don't all have, you know, teams of people working for them and supporting them, creating corroborating evidence. And it's really bizarre that this idea of corroborating evidence has been mentioned, because I knew what happened to me, at least the majority of it. And you know, funny thing is about there not being any corroborating evidence is there's like dozens of YouTubers who are talking about it. Yeah, they are. There's kind of a lot of people talking about it, believe it or not. You know, there are people who are trafficked right out in the open. You know what I mean? Hey, yeah. Generally, someone's traffickers aren't really going to want them to be right out in the open for everyone to see, and for everyone to see that they're not what people, you know, who people said they were or whatever. There's usually like, I'm not gonna go there. The narratives appear self-published. Yeah, that's cool. They really are. Yeah, whenever I write things, I guess. The low visibility thing really hit me. It was like a real punch in the gut. And I know about this whole thing where Elon Musk like tells, like, programs the AI to say certain, like, to say things or to adjust around what he wants people to think. Because he's actually changed the time frame during which he claims he developed the Neuralink. They even changed the time frame that he claims his first victim, Neuralink implant patient, Nolan Arbaugh. Is it Nolan or Nolan? God, I do that all the time. It's so terrible. Anyways, I'm really tired, kind of. So, oh, my house slipper fell off. Hang on. Okay. So, like, they actually changed the date of his accident and the date of his surgery. And they changed it by years. Years, dude. Like a decade or something like that, maybe more. Yeah. Okay, because in 2010, when all that stuff happened to me, I actually got on, you know, the internet, and that's whenever I began to research the Neuralink technology and all of that for myself. Okay, and that can be proven because the feds actually have access to all of the accounts that I've ever had. Not just Elon Musk, even though he is really good at just going in and deleting things or doing weird shit on the internet or with the internet or technology or whatever, like, even though he's really, really good at being manipulative and committing crimes with the internet and lying to us, um, as long as, the good guys are still around and that information is potentially still available, they can get into my accounts, which they already did. I mean, they've all been a part of it this entire time, so I'm sure that they would have already seen the time frame during which I was researching that information. And even if you've deleted those websites, there might still be, there might be straight up evidence in those accounts and in that web history of exactly what I'm talking about, which is, hang on a second. Which is the fact that you make shit up and fucking lie, and you change dates and times and all that. And honestly, it makes me wonder whether or not your little experimental patient person is even like a real person. Like, is he a real person? Is that his real family? Because I read y'all's same stories, everything that you are going to pretend that you just did back in 2010, the same time frame you guys did it to me. Alleged Neuralink implants. Yeah, if it weren't actually for YouTubers being on here saying, like, hey, you were Neuralinked, after I already knew that I was Neuralinked, I just knew that I wasn't allowed to say it, that would be corroborating external sources, okay? And it says that I have no proof. Where was it? Okay. No corroborating, no proof of anything that I say. Okay. I have a whole ass child whose father I don't know. Okay? He's part of your nasty little trafficking group. He is a fucking YouTuber as well. Okay? I wouldn't even know who that was if he wasn't a fucking YouTuber. There's kind of a lot there that I easily have more evidence than that. I actually came on here just to be like, hey, if anyone has any questions about me being trafficked, my kids being trafficked, our whole lives, or any of the other heinous torture, or any questions that anyone has about anything, since I'm so low visibility that I'm just fucking talking out my ass or whatever. If anyone has any fucking questions for me, even though no one has come on the live at all, which is fine with me, whatever. If anyone has any questions for me, I'm available to answer them completely fucking honestly. I already knew that the people that I'm coming up against think that they know everything about me. They've collected what they think are receipts and evidence of my sins, my crimes, how bad bad of a person I am and all the terrible things that I've done my whole life. I, before I spoke up about what was happening, I had a good long talk with God, and I knew that it could be some of what I felt was, maybe my secrets, and things that I might not want the whole world to know about that would be absolutely humiliating. I knew that those were going to be thrown at me, and that people would try to humiliate, embarrass me, and use those things against me. And I decided that that doesn't matter as much to me as putting you fucking piece of shit pedophile motherfuckers the fuck in prison. I'll trade whatever the fuck people need to find out about me to find out about your motherfucking bullshit. So now that I'm completely visible, I'm making myself available to anyone who would like to ask questions about anything that I'm saying. Since everyone wants to act like nothing I say is real or true or has any value or purpose or meaning. If I wanted to just write, just whatever stories, I could do that. I wouldn't have to, implicate the wealthiest, most dangerous people on the planet who have already destroyed my life, who chased me across the nation and paid law enforcement to traffic me for them. Why would I say anything about that person unless that was true? Like, I am not putting my life at risk because I know I'm not going to die yet. I'm not sure that I'll. So to me, at one point, I was putting my life at risk by speaking up to law enforcement who already knew what was happening because they were the ones doing it. My sister is a federal agent, a couple of them, whoever they are, they're basically all federal agents. I've got a stepmom who's a federal agent. There's apparently a lot of people who are related to me who were hired by the government. Great. There's a lot of military people, a couple military folk in my family. It hurts me in a way. Almost any time that I say something bad about my family, but my family is atrocious. They're terrible. They've basically trafficked me my entire life. They trafficked me in place for the majority of the time, and then when everybody had sacrifices to try to damage me, and so that they could continue to get social security checks and annuity checks in my name that they were getting behind my back. They set this stuff up. They set these women up to be just brutally slain, and it was really maybe the worst thing I've ever experienced. I ended up with amnesia after that, and that lasted for over a year. And then as soon as I recovered from amnesia, my boss, whose name was Sandy Reynolds, in Taos, New Mexico, she poisoned me. I was like, hey, I've saved up, I had a car, I had a job, I'd saved up enough money to get my own apartment. And I said, hey, I need to take off work for a week because I'm going to go find a place um, for my son and I to live so I can, bring my son back into the picture and get my son back. And I'd only been working for a couple months and I was already prepared to get him back. You know what I mean? I was prepared to have him the entire time. The only reason they didn't even have to take him, actually. Um, they had me set up in a hotel room and everything. I mean, it was pretty fucked up. But anyways, so I took a week off of work and then to make sure that I did not advance, Sandy poisoned me. And she poisoned me so badly that I went into anaphylactic shock for the first time in my life. And I'm pretty sure that I had a stroke at that point. My face melted off. I went to the hospital in Gunnison, Colorado. I ran from Taos to Gunnison, Colorado, because at the time there was a YouTuber that I liked there. And I wasn't sure if she was a real victim or not, but I wondered if I was gonna die, even though I should have known I wasn't going to. And I went all the way to Gunnison, Colorado, because I heard that if we died, that we could choose who our gifts went to. And for some reason, I thought that if there was even any chance of me passing away, that I would send my gifts to that chick. Which is kind of a fucked up thing, but, I was kind of sick, and, like, from her poisoning me, and was hallucinating. Like, I was hallucinating really bad. Like, I was driving, and I was just, like, fading in and out. It was so bad. And, like I said, I had had a stroke, I was pretty sure. And I knew that people were following me, and they were going to have people ready in whichever hospital that I chose. They were going to make it there before me. So I kept putting the wrong hospitals that I wasn't really going to go to on the map and acting like I was going to them, and then I kept passing them up, and I went to Gunnison instead. So by the time I actually went there and was like, hey, I'm here for this, blah, it took them a really, really, really long time to see me. I was pretty sure. It was kind of a weird thing. And yeah, I'm just so low visibility. Must mean that, must mean that it is incredible, because shouldn't every trafficking victim who's, being chased across the, fucking world, and attacked and everything else everywhere they go, like, I mean, this is the weirdest fucking situation I've ever fucking heard of in my whole life, and it's my life. It's the fucking weirdest thing. It went from the Truman Show to, like, Truman Show serial killers and pedophiles and sex traffickers and corruption, and it's been like it's the weirdest fucking story ever. And I don't think that anyone meant for me to survive all of this and to have the stories, or to have a testimony. That's not what they were planning. Yeah, so anyways, I guess I'm about 30 minutes in now. Thanks for everyone who showed up. Maybe next time. right. So, hmm. Um, yeah. Started to get I started to get into the habit of going live a little bit on Facebook, and every time that I would get into the habit of going live, Facebook would do this thing where it would say that it didn't like one of my posts, and then it would, ground me from going live every single time. Every single time. Every fucking time that I would start to go live on Facebook, somebody, whether it was Facebook or Elon Musk or my family or whoever it was, they would start reporting everything as hard as they could. Everything. Just anything that they could do. And then Facebook would reprimand me, sometimes for nothing. Like, sometimes the posts that they reported, like I had to be like, this is not why would anyone even report this? This isn't even bad. But they would report it so that Facebook would restrict me from going live. And that has complicated things. I had, I was partially raised by a man who worked closely for and with government agencies. Probably still does. And he and others may have told me a little bit about how CIA agents and others will oftentimes choose to expose extreme crime and corruption as it's developing. These CIA agents will go into other countries, and if you guys see my leopard print, I'm totally not okay with leopard print or gang stalking. But these are the pajamas that one of the ladies that I helped take care of gave me, and they're really comfy. So, anyways, the CIA will often go to other nations where they'll kind of infiltrate what's going on, and excuse me. And it's almost like being in West Virginia, where you might not be able to go to the police or get any help from law enforcement at all, because they are the bad guys. Anyways, that these agents go into other nations, and there might be something going on that needs to be exposed to the world. So these agents will get on, they'll go to the media, or they'll contact the media from wherever they are, or they'll get on social media. Facebook is a form of media. These are all forms of media that we've been given. These agents will get online sometimes even and just expose, whatever they need to expose. And that's generally in order to save lives. And, there were just these little things here and there that people told me, some of which was to trap me. Um, like one of the things that I was taught that was meant as a trap was that if the police are ever corrupt, to take that information to the feds, um, and that if the feds are ever corrupt, to take that information to the media. Um, but if the cops and the feds are corrupt, they might prevent you from being seen, being heard. They could prevent media from accepting you, from accepting what you say. They could prevent an article from being published or information from being exposed. There's a number of different things that can happen. They could kidnap you, or steal your stuff, steal your phone, take over your, there's a number of different ways that they're really good at controlling their trafficking victims and their accounts and their whole lives. And it's not a matter of a if you let them thing, okay? So I've heard two people now use this stupid ass retarded phrase, which is they can only hurt you if you let them. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. That's basically a narcissist and an abuser's way of victim blaming. It's disgusting. And plenty of Christians, I notice, will say that. Well, they can't hurt you unless you let them. And they think that that's like some biblical shit, and like, no, that's not true. Here's one example. Jesus didn't want to die. He didn't want to die when he died. He was only 33 years old when he died. Do you think he would just fucking want to volunteer to be crucified brutally at 33 years old? No. No, you wouldn't. Do you even... No. 33-year-olds are still playing video games here, okay? Like, Jesus did not want to be crucified. He wept and he prayed, like, God, let your will be done. But if there's any way that you could prevent me from dying in that brutal way, carrying that cross down to the, and being nailed to it and brutally assaulted, tortured, and humiliated, and then killed upon this cross. Jesus was really cool for doing that. You know what I mean? And it is said that he could have called angels to help him if he wanted to. But he was so dedicated to his Father and doing his Father's will. It's just such an amazing story, right? Okay, so that should give you an example. It's like, yeah, maybe he could have done something about it, but he begged God to do something about it beforehand. And I mean, it's obviously not something that he wanted to do, but knowing that it was God's will, he's of course not going to back out of it. But, and there's plenty of women and children and, even men who are victimized, sometimes completely out of the blue, didn't even see it coming, showed up on our doorstep, we didn't even order it, you know what I mean? Bam! You know what I mean? It's not something that we made any choices beforehand, we didn't let that happen, but it did happen. So yeah, the idea of those bad things don't happen unless you let them happen is fucking retarded as fuck. And looks like I'm about 40 minutes in now. So yeah, I have seen within the last couple days that it's coming out that finally that Elon Musk has it's coming out in the emails and everything that he was given 3 trafficking victims by Epstein, and and there's a number of other things that are coming out, and it's like, oh God, finally, this horrible bully who I'm not sure isn't the Antichrist, you know what I mean? That, this bully is finally being called out, and he needs it badly. I'm very tired, so that's all I'm going to say right now. I understand that I'm a very boring person, that all of my videos are tremendously boring, that everything I write is boring, and nevertheless, there's still a great deal of information throughout that supports the narrative that I'm giving you. And I haven't just been writing since January 2006, of course. I've been writing about this for years, and publicly, very publicly. Other people have been talking about it for years too, publicly. And because such a strong hand and control was kept over me, I have not found anyone who will watch the videos with me. There was only like one person who watched them with me, and it was this other homeless person in, I'm gonna have to get a microphone, ain't I? Dang, okay. It was another homeless person while I was in Liberal, Kansas. And he would actually sit and watch the videos with me, and that was really cool. And he was the only person over the last few years, because most of the people who I passed through were traffickers, and they had all been instructed, they're all instructed not to watch the videos, not to listen to the videos, not to believe the videos, and that the videos are all to throw me off, and to misrepresent the situation, and to distract me and to deceive me. And yeah, so yeah, I'm tired. I'm going now. And yeah, so peace.